Welcome back to another episode, the life of my 1995 TD42 Nissan GQ Patrol. Building it, driving it, breaking it, fixing it, getting it ready for the next adventure. Now we have a huge adventure coming up. We're taking this vehicle to Cape York, the top of Australia. It's maybe about an 8,000 kilometre round trip. We've got a lot of work to do to get this thing ready. So we've got ourselves a big list here. Some of it is fixing from our previous adventure. Like it's got a busted rear fuel tank, it's got a busted rear tail shaft. It requires a fair bit of servicing. And then we're doing some really exciting new mods as we're always improving and making this thing better, more capable, four-wheel drive for adventure. So let's jump into it.
Proudly supported by Opus Campers, Ultimate 9, Tread, Superior Engineering, GME, and in part by.
First job we're doing, top of the list, is this leaking fuel tank. This actually started on our Central Australia trip, maybe about 9-10 months ago now. So we said, look, we really need to get this fixed because it keeps reoccurring on trips because we keep patching it up and then the leak just gets bigger and blows itself out in a new hole. So I said, look, we've got to get a new tank. When I say new tank, I mean this rusty pile of shit that's there. So this came out of that blue GU I had, which I got that spare TD42 out of. We pulled the tank out of that. But the tank's all pretty good. We checked all inside. It's beautiful inside. It's just got a bit of surface rust on the outside of it. So we're going to wire wheel it back, maybe put a bit of rust converter on it, paint it up, make it look nice, go to that little bit of effort, and then we'll whack that in the GQ and she'll have a new fuel tank. We should actually say too, it's actually night time at the moment, but we got the Ultimate 9 torch out here, so it just lit up the whole neighbourhood.
Yeah, mate. See how bright it is?
Yeah. It's not even on.
DJ got the party started, there's no end in sight.
The tank's painted. While we're waiting for it to dry, I'm going to rip up the back carpet, get into the top inspection hole, take the hoses off, and we'll drop the tank out.
Nothing too complicated then.
Nah, even you could do this.
Maybe.
Maybe. Don't know. Look what I found under your carpet. This is my personal.
No, yours,
NB,
mate.
mate. Yeah.
Mate, it's just the usual. You're leaving your tools all over the countryside.
Better than leaving your tools, isn't it?
Yeah, well, that's what you normally do. What do you reckon? Full tank of diesel in there for you to sort out?
Well, how much did you put in it today?
I filled her up, mate.
Maybe. So I seen the gauge.
No, I don't know what. It's under a quarter.
Look at that.
So that's the old fuel tank out. Now what?
I'll probably change your sender thing, pull the hoses off it, and then I'll throw it outside to sit outside in the rain for the next 6 years.
Perfect.
What I'm doing here is I'm changing this fuel sender from this one, I know it's good, onto this one. So it's got one screw and then this little sender comes off, but then the wire, it's soldered to a little thing, like a pass-through bulkhead. So I just melt the solder, pull the wire out, do the same for that, switch them and then re-solder it on. We've got a slight problem. This is littler than that, but I had an idea. I thought, hey, what if I cut a piece of the little hose, slide it on, get him on there, and then big hose, boom.
Problem solved.
Problem's gonna be solved. I'll double clamp that to be sure, but like that's a,
Tight fit.
yeah, it's a snug fit. We're not playing around.
No, not today.
So I reckon what I'll do is I'll trim this around like real flush, so then, you know, it's not gonna just like hit it. What are we doing here, bud? This is called anti-seize, mate. Copper ease. I don't want these, when these leaks again, you drive like a maniac and pick really bad lines. I don't want to be struggling with dirty bolts, so.
Man, I can't wait to outdrive you on every Cape York track.
Yeah, well that'll be your first. So, like, I'd probably even let you have it.
So the new fuel tank's all set up, ready to go. We just got to lift her in now, re-bolt her up, and that'll be the fuel tank job done.
Don't tell, don't tell them it's that easy.
Slow down.
Everyone will be doing it themselves. You don't put mechanics out of business. Just putting the splash guard in. Mine doesn't even have this, mate.
Yeah, my car's twice as good as yours.
Fuel tank's in. Going to turn the key on, make sure the gauge and everything works. Says we've got just under a quarter of a tank. It's probably about just what we put in it, so.
Beautiful.
With the fuel tank all done, the next job to quickly do and tick off the list was the new LED whip and interior lighting from EcoX Gear. I don't have any camp lighting inside the GQ and have been wanting some for a while. I've already got the speaker from EcoX Gear, so figured I'd just join their lighting up to it as well, and then it can all connect together in one system.
Car just hasn't been the same without the LED whip on it.
Yeah, it's actually started driving things.
That's her, mate, all installed. How'd it come out?
Oh, mate, it's my finest work. I've never seen something so good. A little slap together for Cape York lighting.
So that's LED whip and rear lights done. This morning I've just taken the GQ down to get a wheel alignment, so that's been done. And one of the things I wanted them to do was check the front diff is not bent, because once it's on the wheel alignment machine you can check your caster, your camber and stuff and make sure it's not doing anything weird. On the last trip, coming up out of Ali Bubba's cave, I tried to launch it up a step. It hit a double step at one and bounced the front end, big like compression down, and busted out an axle seal. And we were concerned that it maybe slightly bent the front diff, but it seems all good, which is good news. So I don't have to get a new GU front diff, and that means we can now brace it, put my RCV axles in. Before we get into this front diff though, Berto's under there now pulling out the rear tail shaft, which got destroyed on the last trip, also on Ali Bubba's cave track. As they were winching me up that big step, it grounded on the rock. And you see us on the video, we thought it was just like all scuffed up, but then we found it had quite a big dent in it, which is causing like a wobble and vibration on the road at higher speed. So we're gonna get that one out and swap a different one in.
There's a bit of a dent there. It's like flat.
Yeah, okay.
And then this joint here
Yeah.
is like got plane on it. So it's probably a combination of both. Like a weird flat spot just there too, feel that.
Yeah, okay.
See how it feels low? It's like oval.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'd say it's been squashed one too many times, mate.
Cop too many rocks, too much of your spotting, mate.
Bit of better line choice from you, bud.
Mate, I'm just gonna say on that step, I said someone, look, I didn't say a tail shaft, I said someone please check my rear diff.
Well, be more specific, bud.
Is it okay?
Can you just throw a few rocks under those rear tyres as they climb? It won't bury that diff. Is that rear diff going to be good?
Yeah, it should. It's starting to climb.
Everyone said, yeah, your rear diff's good, and everyone just watched that tail shaft smash itself to pieces.
No, you didn't have much choice. Once you were in that hole, you were...
Now look, where'd I get this one from?
Ah, good bloke, I know.
Berto apart.
Yeah, mate, feel that. Good, mate. Smooth as a daisy, but it's, you know, couple scratches on stuff, but she's feeling round. You give that a feel, bud.
Nice big smooth shaft there.
While I've got this thing out, I might give it a fresh grease. I might put this in back to front so you've got your hits on the cross member, don't flexes, mate. You know, from factory, that end is at the diff.
Yeah, and then
And then
this flipper.
I'll put it back into factory specs, bud.
Mate, anything so you have a chance of keeping up with me on the tracks.
I don't know if you've seen the last few episodes, but we've been getting smoked, brother.
No, doubt it. I don't know what channel you've been watching.
Yeah, it's the Birdo channel, brother. Get on it. Mate, everyone's been messaging me saying how much I've been smoking you, so.
Yeah. What, you getting your mum to get all her friends to message you or something?
No, yours. Mate, I don't even know why you try with me, eh? Your brain's like the speed of dial-up from 1991, buddy. Make rear setup, that's done. Look at it.
That's not done. We chucked a single drawer in there.
Yeah, that's it. That's all you need, mate.
That's done.
That's more than I've got. Wow, compress it. Mate, the list just gets bigger. We're trying to make it go down, bud.
I crossed one off when I wrote
You want me to call up Sean? Get some help in, bud.
So yeah, I'm gonna have to take a little bit of time planning, organising the rear setup of this car. There's so much space there, but it's just working out the best way to set it all up and distribute the weight, because I want to keep the weight forward and down the bottom, but I still want to be able to easily access everything as well. By talking about easy access use of the space, I did get some more drawer bags. These are from AFM 4x4. I've been using a couple of their weekender bags on our last few trips and absolutely love them. A couple of different sizes. You got a large one, a small one, and then like your mini non-clear top ones. So they got dividers in them so you can segment off the different sections. Clear top so you can see what's in them. They're fully waterproof. They hold their shape really well, like throw them around here, but when they're sitting there, they're actually a nice shape. They're not like canvas drawer bags that fall in and then you're sort of trying to make everything work on them. So not sure if I can cross it off the list, but hey, I got one part of the rear setup sorted, these new bags. Okay, so we're on to the big job, mate. Now, down the front of the car here.
So, as everyone's known, you can see in the episodes, he keeps losing clearance from his diff guard, but we don't want to fully get rid of it because then you do what I did, you smash your pumpkin in.
Yeah, we don't want that to happen.
So we got a weld-on guard, so you lose no clearance. We're doing a diff brace, so we have knuckle gussets and then the top axle tube truss.
Yeah.
They're from Superior, nice kit, you'll get that in.
And what's the point of bracing the front diff? Like, why do you do it?
So you don't bend a diff.
Yeah, and how would you bend a diff?
Hard hits. If you're going, I don't know, for example, Cape York, there's a washout, you're driving at night, you don't see it, you hit it, boom, bent diff.
Yeah.
So this may not stop that fully, depending on how hard you hit it, but it's going to make you a hell of a lot stronger. And you know, it's just a peace of mind thing. We're about to do a Cape trip. Tyler said, I'm scared. Let's brace it up.
Yeah.
So I don't really want to change a diff up there. There's a bit of maintenance you have to do. I have to redo a wheel bearing and axle seal. While we're in there though, we have these Nitro Gear chromoly axles for the GU. So they're a chromoly Beresfield joint and an axle shaft. So they're made out of 4340 chromoly, which I think they say it's about 35% stronger than the factory axles. They have a few benefits. You can grease, they have a grease nipple in the end. You don't have to pull them all the way out to service them. We get these from Nitro Gear. You can get them from pretty much any good diff builder, Roadrunner off-road.
Yeah, they're just a much stronger, beefier axle when you're running bigger tyres and doing hardcore wheeling and, you know, out driving this bloke on the tracks.
Well, let me just tell you, if they really wanted product testing, it'd go in my car. I'm the CV breaker, not you. I'll upgrade to your CVs.
Yeah.
And you can upgrade to these.
Yeah, so Birdo has finally got himself a front GU diff. He's gone upgrades. I just figured I got to be one bigger, one better than him.
Well, let's just put it this way. If you couldn't outwheel me when I was breaking CVs, you can't outwheel me when I'm not breaking CVs. So my plan here is, right, I'm going to jack it up by the chassis, so then I can't jack it up by the diff because I'm pulling the diff out of the car. So I need to make it so it's high enough that I can get the diff down off the shock and then out. You know, coils come out, undo your brake line.
This is one of those need a hoist jobs.
Yeah, bud, yeah. It's always good to be extra cautious. So we've got the tread wheel chocks. Boom.
With the GQ jacked up, Birdo got to work disconnecting the diff. Undo steering arms, brake calipers, coils, shocks, radius arms, and then the whole thing could slide out.
It's the best your car's ever looked.
Look at that, mate. What do you have to say about that?
You can get
The whole diff is out. So what do you reckon? Lunch break and then keep going?
Yeah, man's hungry.
Yeah, gotta eat.
I can't work in these conditions.
Diff's out.
Diff's
Mate,
out.
we're back from lunch. How was it? What'd you get today?
A quarter pounder. I ate on the road, that's how much of a hard worker I am. It took no time for myself. I'm about to like grind up this diff and that. I'll probably still have to pull this off. But I've got to cut this bracket off and then this bracket off so that this will sit down flat. And then I'll change over from the cutting disc to the wire wheel, mate. Throw that over here, eh?
Oh, no, I'm not throwing it.
Boom, wire wheel. And then we'll get all this really good protective paint off.
Yeah.
And get it raw and then we'll repaint it. Otherwise we'll end up welding it like Sean.
What do you have to say about that, Sean?
I've got proof of his welding. If it ain't said, it ain't right.
Yeah, pretty much. Okay, so next step in this, I need to prep everything. So this comes with some sort of oily residue on it. I'm going to give it a quick brake clean, get that off. And then I've got weld through primer, so it's like a copper based primer, you can weld through it. So, because all the inside of this, once it's on there, can't paint it, I'll weld through primer all the inside, and then the edges where we weld it, on that, and I'll paint all that with the copper stuff, and that'll stop it from rusting from the inside. So I reckon next step will be to put a couple of tacks on this. And then I'll put the little top gussets in, put a couple tacks on, and then I'll flip it. I'll get the bottom gussets ready, and then I'll tack them on. I've gone through, tacked everything. Now I'm just going to go through weld like section to section. I'm just going to stitch it, but you can't do too much. So I've done bit here, some there, and now I'm moving on to the gusset. I'll let it cool. We've got the fan on it. The next day we're back. I've got the brace all welded on. The next thing is the pumpkin guard going here. So I'm going to give this a clean up, get it all ready just like I did before, get it welded on there. So I'll hook in. Pumpkin guard's welded on, diff brace is welded on, drain plug guard is welded on. So now I'm going to get it prepped for paint. I'm going to give all these welds a bit of a wire wheel, get all the ashy, smoky, whatever I burn off. There's a bit of oil that came out, so. I've got all that cleaned up. It's cooled off a bit. Some of it has. I'll paint the bits that have. I've got, you know the deal by now, etch primer. This for bare metal. So this will be the undercoat, and then I've got some gloss for the top coat. So we'll get into it. Boom, we're back. Next day, I painted it, it's all dried now, so we're gonna get it back in the car. Once it's in the car, gonna start rebuilding the insides.
Look at that, mate, that's beautiful. That's a nice paint job you done there.
Yeah. One of my nicer paint jobs.
Yeah.
That's for sure.
Now, little question, because some people might ask, we got gaps there. Are you going to fill them with silicone, or what's
No, I'm not going to fill them with silicone.
How come?
If I fill them with silicone, there's probably still going to be a pinhole and the water's not going to come out. If I leave it like this, water can get in, water can also get out. So it's one of those things. It is what it is.
Beautiful.
This is how we're doing it, and I think it'll be fine. Diff's bolted back in. All the bolts aren't done up. I don't want to tear the bushes. I've got to wait till ride height. So now I'm going to start stripping from, you know, your wheel bearings, pull the axles out. We'll get ready to put these chromoly axles in, change the axle seals, redo the wheel bearings, get ready for this trip away.
With everything unassembled from that side of the diff, we can now put a fresh axle seal in along with the Nitro Gear chromoly CVs.
Got that 4340 goodness, mate. Grease nipple in the end.
That is very handy. That's a little upgrade from the genuine CVs.
Yeah.
Got a grease nipple in the end, you pump it full.
And then the exact same thing on the other side. With that done, Berto was able to clean up the rest of the parts, some fresh paint, some fresh wheel bearings, and get her all back together.
That's beautiful. But mate, what's happened here?
What's happened here?
Had a bit of a
I
mishap.
had them over here, I forgot to paint them. So, you know what I'm going to do?
What? paint them up on the car.
Yeah.
No one will ever know.
It's not going to be as pretty, but I'm not wasting another hour painting them. I need to put them in to put the rest together.
And this thing's only going to be pretty for drive up to Cape York, and then the whole thing's going to be covered in red mud and dust anyway. So
Look, I've seen what you do to cars, so this is what you get. You won't get upset. If you do get upset, too bad, so sad. I've got all the CVs back in, wheel bearings, fresh wheel bearings in there, greased, tensioned, brakes on, lines on, pretty much everything's back on. I've got to bleed the brakes still. I've pop riveted this little logo back on. Looks nice, clean finish.
Look at that, mate, what a job. Birdo's professional fabrications and welding.
Yeah, mate, and painting.
Yeah.
And landscape.
There's nothing you can't do.
Pretty much.
So that whole front end is going to be beautiful, all ready for Cape York.
Yep.
No more bending diffs, not that I bent one, and no more breaking CVs, not that I broke one of them either.
So you've done pointless upgrades. Should have gave me all this.
Just wasted 3 days of our lives. Yeah, we know it's not going to...
Yeah, it's peace of mind. We're not going to hit a washout. Boom, Tyler's going to bend his diff. I ain't fixing it in Cape York, I'll leave it there.
Yeah.
Mate, this bends. See you later, alligator, mate.
On to the next job.
Fill it up with diff oil.
Yep.
Don't want to forget that. Should be busted in no time. Right, RCV axles, done. Brace front diff, done.
And then we've done some of the check over.
Yeah, we've half done this, so I'm going to come back in the morning, we're going to finish that. Do a service on this thing. It's not on the list, but that's what we're going to do.
Big day, mate.
Big day.
Lots on, cars back together.
Yeah, mate. Yeah, Cape prep all underway, mate.
Next day, full service and check over for the big girl, as well as fixing up a cracked exhaust bracket I had.
Cracked exhaust, done. Full check over, brakes, bearings, oils, no leaks, suspension, bolt, fluids, they're all good, so.
I'm in the shed doing some late night trip preparation for Cape York, and I figured I'd go through quickly spares we are taking on this trip, because I thought that might interest you guys. If not, too bad, you're getting it anyway. But got the tread box here. This thing is absolutely jammed packed with spares for the trip, and it amazes me how much we managed to fit in here. So this is stuff I've built up over the last couple of years of traveling with this car, and yeah, having things that I believe I'll need when doing remote travel when parts aren't available. Spare air filter, I might even get a second one of these for Cape York because it'll be very dusty up there. Bag of rags. Wrapped up in this, we have wheel bearings, which are already pre-packed, pre-greased, so you don't have to do it on the road. Have axle seals, and then your wheel bearing seals as well. Jump starter, top and lower radiator hoses for a TD42. Radius arm bolts, all 3 belts for a TD42. A tyre repair kit with valve cores and everything you'd need for a tyre in there. Couple different size hoses, which will cover various hoses in the engine bay like fuel lines. A packet of squeezable gear oil for your diff, transfer case, stuff like that. I don't carry much, but it's a little top up if I need it. Because it's got the squeeze end on it, means you can actually get in the diff when you're on the road. Brake cleaner, WD-40, brake fluid, molly grease, a bag of random nuts and bolts which we pulled off a Patrol, so they're mostly to fit various components on a Patrol. Big and small zip ties, ATF fluid which will do power steering, radiator stop leak, wheel bearing grease, slave cylinder for the clutch, spare fuel filter, Ultimate 9 OBD code reader, which isn't actually useful for my GQ because it doesn't have a computer, but it does for other cars we are with, like my dad's Patrol who's going to be with us. It's just handy to have if you come across anyone that's stuck with a faulty code. A few lengths of random wire, ratchet straps, candle wax for squeaky belts, gasket glue, gasket maker, metal putty, throwout bearing for the clutch, spare hub and hub bolts and hub inners, tie rod end and drag link ends, front and rear brake pads, starter motor, and alternator, obviously for a TD42. Well, everything, a lot of things here are for a TD42, but that is a fairly comprehensive list of parts I've built up over time. Let me know your thoughts, whether you think it's too much, not enough, anything else I should have in this kit.
But I've been to remote places before and I know what it's like to need a part and you don't have it and it's really bad. So I try and take all the parts that I believe you'll need spares for. Birdo will also be carrying spare GUCVs, which will cover both of us, and he said he's going to bring 2 spare diffs on this trip as well, a front and rear diff, which is kind of a little bit ridiculous, but we're taking 3 patrols, so it covers all 3 vehicles, and we've done a couple of diffs on trips now. Well, Birdo has, I suppose, only Birdo. I haven't done any diffs. And I won't go through every single thing that's in here, but this is the general toolkit that I take away on trips as well. So the main piece of this is from SP Tools. It's their travel toolkit, and it has a very comprehensive parts, not parts, tools, really good list of tools that you will use on the road. Like a big punch, couple of ratchets, vice grips, a tool for doing wires, cutters, Allen keys, hammer, multis, circlip pliers, pointy nose pliers, spanners, and in each of these compartments I got a bunch of stuff and some extra things I've added as well. So in this is different size impact sockets as well as normal size sockets plus some extensions and that. I've got a bunch of hose clamps of all different sizes, like for fuel lines, radiator lines, because we always use them on the road. I've also put the sizes in you need for a patrol, for your seal drivers, these whatever they're called, which for doing wheel bearings, axle seals that you can punch in. In this one over here I have various tapes, super glues, the wheel bearing tool for a patrol. In the end one here I got a bunch of screwdrivers, spanners, more zip ties. And there's a few extra things up the back here I've added. Fencing wire, which I actually put that in my other one I had out before. A grinder, an impact driver, a bottle jack, and a big pair of moldies, which they're handy for changing brake pads on the road or just something you need big leverage on. And a small ratchet spanner set as well, which I find is very handy. And then Birdo will bring some extra tools of his as well. Big list of spares, big list of tools. Let me know if you found this interesting at all. But yeah, this is, I've probably forgotten some things, but this is most of the things we're going to be taking to Cape York. We're back, another day in the shed working on the GQ Patrol. This is pretty much our last day now to get it ready for our Cape York trip. We're up to maybe about day 5. We've been smashing through all these jobs on it. Not full days, but just bits and pieces here and there. Well, the last one is wire up this air compressor. Rear long arms, we're not gonna have time to do, and the tune, we're not gonna have time to do. So those couple will probably be a future episode. But for pretty much my whole life of full driving now, I've always been using one of these, just like in a bag, you pull up, you find it from wherever it's buried in the back of your car, pop your bonnet, hook it up, go around, air your tires, and it does the job. But I've always wanted an actual hard mounted under your seat style air compressor. So I've finally gone out, bought one. I just got an ARB single compressor. Didn't go the double simply because of the fact that it's more money. Birdo has a single one. He said it does 10 PSI up to 35 PSI on a 35-inch tire in about 3 minutes. So that'll do the job, that's all I need. And then to go with the air compressor, you need to get the hose kit for it too. And that just means wherever you mount your compressor, we're going under the driver's seat. You plug your hose in and then you can walk around, pump up all your tires. So we'll get to it, get this air compressor installed.
She's mounted in here. You seen me drill the holes on the bottom, the sandwich plate, nut and bolted through that. That's not moving anywhere. So you can rotate all this to wherever it suits. I've rotated this so the seat comes just here. We can plug a hose in. But I've got all the sensor, all these, every thread that screws into this, I've got thread tape, so there's going to be no leaks out of any of that. But now it's mounted, I've got to get the wiring loom that comes with it and run some powers. Got the console out, we've got a whole bunch of wiring under it for the air compressor. We've got the switch mounted in here, so we already got the dash full of switches. This is a lovely spot. You need to pump the tyres up, you hit that, you're already out of the car, plug your hose in, she's good to go.
Lovely.
So all the wiring will be hidden under this. So we come over here. So we've obviously got this all wiring here. I've got to tidy this up, but this goes to that loom that you've seen under that. So this will get all ran up, hidden in here. I've put a little hole in the vinyl over here, so it runs up, comes out here, and then all the power wires all tucked under all this, all looking nice. So it's just this little unit here, that's all you need.
Birdo's professional auto electrician work.
I've done this in my car once, so I know the way to do it.
In the one episode, you've been a mechanic, a fabricator, and an electrician.
Yeah.
Nothing this bloke can't do.
I do a bit of landscaping too when I pack tracks for you.
Yeah.
If there's something Tyler needs done, he says, shit, Birdo, can you do that? And I'll say, I'll give it a go, even if I can't, and then we figure it out. So. Good.
You got your hose there, so when you want to use it, you just plug your hose in and that'll reach around all 4 tyres.
Yeah, you got to go back to that way, front to that way.
That's the air compressor all wired in, and that's pretty much this episode done. That's about all the modifications we're going to do and going to have time to do. We're starting to get ourselves ready now for the Sydney Fall Drive Show, which is not too far away. Then after that, we're straight up to Cape York. But look at this list here. Most of it pretty much done. Front drive shaft bolt, we still need to pick one of them up. One of them got stripped. Rear setup, I don't know. I'll just chuck some stuff in there probably like I always do. And then the rear long arms and the tune, that'll be a future episode. But the never-ending build of this GQ Patrol, fixing it, driving it, breaking it, making it better, continues. I'm sure there'll be more stuff after Cape York. What do you have to say about that, mate? You got a few mods done. You pretty pleased with how it all went?
I'm pleased with how it went. Look at this. I'm sick of it.
I'm sick of it. It's out of here.
Mate, these lines are going on here. I've had enough of them. I could pretty much be a school teacher with my racing skills.
Next episode.
Next episode, but you'll see this at a later date.
Yeah.
Now let's get back into it, eh?
Straight onto this pile of junk now. A few more things to get. Yeah.
Yeah.
A few more things to get done to it before we take it to the show.
Don't know about the bloody angle, mate. Don't know about the lighting. It's terrible right now.